Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick. My name is Saye and I'm here at Transwest and Horse Trailer Sales. So for those of you guys that aren't familiar with us, we are Cimarron and Logan dealers. So if you guys are looking for a new trailer, either living quarter or using trailer, we can get those new from either Cimarron or Logan. We also have a really wide variety of used trailers here on our lot. We love getting Cimarrons in on trade, but we also carry a wide variety of different types of trailers. So for those of you that are looking for a really high quality living quarters, this is a really great example of one behind me. This is actually a sold unit for a customer. We actually had this trailer on order, and the great thing about Transwest is we have lots of slots available at Cimarron, so we get to build a lot of really cool custom trailers. And some of our inventory trailers, if we've got them on order and somebody wants to take them, make a few tweaks, as long as they stay within certain parameters, sometimes that gets you a trailer a lot sooner than waiting for one to be custom built from the back of the line. So this is an example of a Cimarron trailer with an outlaw conversion. This has been one of our most popular setups that we've had for our living quarters trailers. Since we started carrying this 14.3 short wall, it has been amazing how much people like this layout. It's the perfect size. This trailer, it's a rear load with a folding rear tack. It's only 31 feet, 9 inches on the floor. You're 7'7" tall, 8 foot wide. This is a really handy trailer to get in and out of areas. It's a 4-horse. We also do this setup in a 3-horse. We also do this setup in a full width rear tack on both the 3 and the 4. So if you like this living quarters setup, I think you're going to see a lot more of these in our future. We're also making some tweaks, maybe making one just a little bit longer in order to get a few more options in there. So we're going to take a tour on this one, and at the end of it, if you're ready, give us a call and we can get one on order for you. So the first thing you're going to notice under here is we've got our battery box, our spare tire, our dual hydraulic jacks, and our upgraded 30-pound propane bottles. We don't like messing around with the little ones anymore. We find that when people get to a show, they don't want to have to go find somewhere to fill their propane. So we just do these big bottles on here. If you need to, we can always order the smaller ones. I had somebody custom order a trailer recently where they did the smaller ones because they didn't like carrying the bigger bottles. They'd rather go swap them out for the smaller ones. So that is still an option to do those smaller ones. There are some safety precautions that we have taken in these living quarters trailers. So there's now a solenoid on these trailers so that you can turn the gas on and off within the coach. It's something that Outlaw was decided to put onto their trailers, and I think it makes them one of the safest trailers out there. So anytime we've got propane on our trailers, there's a lot of precautions we're going to take. For those of you that like a roll-up door enclosure on the front, a lot of our 14.3s on that upgraded model will have that roll-up door enclosure. If you want to add one onto one, it's not a big deal, but we do need to do it before the build process because you do need to add just a little bit of length here so we can get clear of those hydraulic jacks there. These hydraulic jacks are really nice because they are independently leveling. So I'm on a really uneven surface right here, so I've got one of these jack legs just a little taller than the other one. Just makes it nice and level for my slide out. These electric slide outs, they're able to take a kind of a degree of difference, so you don't have to be 100% level, but we want to get as close as possible just to put less stress on those slide outs. So right here I do have 2 little bubbles that I can kind of level myself off of. The frames of these trailers are so incredibly strong. You do want to be on a somewhat level space because if you try and run these jacks up too far, these frames do not tweak and warp like a camper trailer. One of these legs will start lifting off the ground without the other one. So it's really important to kind of keep that in mind as well. We like having a really, really strong trailer frame, so I don't think that's a huge deal. Right here, you've got a place for your sewer hose, so gets it out of the way. Nobody likes to have to deal with this in living quarters, but it is a necessary evil. This is just really nice to have somewhere where you don't have to throw it in your Mangers, something like that. All right, so on the exterior here, we brought the side extrusions all the way up to the front on this one. I love these side extrusions. They're structural. They're actually triple hollow slats on here. So you do get a lot of structural strength out of it, but also if you've got horses or kids running next to this trailer, these side extrusions are going to take a much better beating than this 050 aluminum white sheet up here. So having this go all the way up, even on the living quarters part of things, is just really, really nice. This is where you're going to get the majority of your wear and tear on your trailer, so we might as well go for something that's a little more heavy duty. You've got a 17-foot electric awning on this trailer. It's got a nice cover on it, so you don't have to worry about the sun just beating down on it and creating that checking that you'll see on your awning fabric. This 17-foot awning also has a row of awning lights underneath that you can turn on and off from the interior of your trailer. And that's just really nice if you're hanging out here at night. I know a lot of people, like, these shows are very social, and chances are you're not going to be holed up in your living quarters all the time. Lots of people will run these awnings out at night, hang out under here, play some card games, and it's nice to just get a nice strip of lights there. I've also got these courtesy lights down low. Just makes it so that if you've got stuff, it'll kind of light up the ground, give you an idea of where your trailer is if you're stumbling around at night. Fold up step into the living quarter. That's a given on our 8-foot trailers. We don't have any running boards on this one because you're 8 foot wide. So these fold up steps, they're just on a nice little gas shock. They make it so much easier to get in and out of your trailer without having to jump over this or have to pull one out from underneath. So I really like these fold up steps. We recommend that you get yourself a few extra little gas shocks. That way, if anything ever fails on one, these are super easy to replace and not very expensive. So that's just a way you can make your life a little bit easier if you're traveling. And these are like those shocks that you have on your camper shells, and they never tell you when they're going to go out. So it's really nice to just have a little extra one of those around. You've got your Cimarron style door here. I really like using these Cimarron style doors. You have to use one of these roll-up screen doors if you want to go with that direction. But these Cimarron doors, they're so well sealed. They close really nicely. They feel really solid. They're a huge upgrade over the camper style doors. So we see a lot of these. If you want something with a metal screen door on it, we have a Challenger style door that is really, really heavy duty. That's what you see on a lot of RVs. So that's always an option as well. So in this trailer, I mentioned this 14.3 setup is incredibly popular, and that's because of the flexibility it gives you. By doing this 14.3, we're able to have a couch on the drop wall and a dinette in the slide. If you wanted to do a couch and a couch, that's fine too. But what this allows you to do is it gives you 3 separate sleeping areas on this trailer in a pretty small package. It also makes it so that you've got kind of a center point for watching TV over here. You can kind of have people sitting on either side here and be able to get a pretty good view of it. This TV also has a huge cabinet behind it so that you can kind of move it around, make sure it's positioned exactly where you want it. Also gives you lots of storage behind, which on trailers is a big deal. We also have a TV up in the nose here, and that's able to be swiveled around, so if somebody wants to be watching something from bed, these people want to be watching something from the couch, that's absolutely an option. On these 14.3 setups, if you want, we can always do, if you're starting from scratch, we can always get this area a little more closed off. A lot of people like this pony wall because it makes it feel less claustrophobic up there, but it still gives you a little bit of privacy, and you don't have to worry about your blankets falling down on top of somebody else there. So, but if you do want it closed in with a little barn door, something we can absolutely do. You've got some storage cabinets up in the nose there. They're not very deep on these trailers, but it is nice. Like I said, Outlaw will throw storage wherever they can possibly find it. Something else that I love about my Outlaw conversions is it is solid hardwood cabinetry on these trailers. They don't use the particle boards and the cheap materials that you see on a lot of camper trailers. So if somebody wanted to, 10 to 20 years down the road, as they're still pulling this trailer around, they could actually refinish these cabinets, and they don't have to worry about ripping things out. The solid wood cabinets hold up a lot better. You don't have to worry about all your trim pieces falling down all the time. You don't have to worry about somebody being pretty hard on it and ripping these things to pieces. I like having something that's quality that maybe you pay a little bit more money for, but it has great resale value and it holds up really well against the test of time. So you'll see quite a few storage spaces right up here as well. These TVs that we have are actually smart TVs. So one of the things we've been doing on these trailers is we've actually been doing what's called a WineGuard Connect 2.0 system. So that means that we can get a Wi-Fi boost off of these trailers. So if you either can get a SIM card, either through WineGuard, AT&T, or Verizon, and this trailer can have its own Wi-Fi capabilities, or it can boost your signal. So if you're in a campground or you're using a hotspot off of your phone, there's a little button that you press in here. It's actually up by this TV over there. See those little green lights there? That's for the Wi-Fi there. And it will allow you to boost those signals off of those devices. So I know a lot of people are going away from subscription TV, or I guess direct TV or dish TV, and they're doing the apps. So they're doing HBO or Netflix or Hulu. So we've decided that it's time for us to kind of get with the times, and we've upgraded these TVs to smart TVs to have those capabilities. Another thing that's pretty important is a lot of people, especially in this day and age, have started working remotely. So by having a trailer that's set up a little bit more to allow for that flexibility for jobs, it is nice that you can have kind of the best of both worlds. You can travel in your horse trailers to shows, still get your work done, and not have to worry about connectivity on the road. Right here on this trailer, this is a couple upgrades that the customer made. They wanted these beautiful copper hammered sinks on these trailers, so they did one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. It's over our standard porcelain sinks. Got a nice cover in here, so if you need to, you can use this as an additional workspace here. 2-burner cooktop as well. And then the nice little window here in the kitchen. I like having that window, it just lets a lot more light in. All these windows are able to be opened, so if it's raining or anything like that, they'll give you kind of a cover so you don't have to worry about all that rain and debris getting inside. Real tile here on this backsplash. You have so many choices at Outlaw. A lot of people, we recommend that if they're custom building a trailer or taking one of the ones we have on order, we haven't picked colors yet, you're always welcome to go down to Outlaw and pick your own finishes for these trailers. The choices can be pretty overwhelming because there are a lot of options, and sometimes people end up just taking trailers that we've done in the past and we've duplicated them. So the people at Outlaw and my manager that picks these colors, they're pretty good at what they do. So if you see a trailer that you like, you can always send us the trailer information and we can have Outlaw duplicate it, or at least get as close as possible to it with whatever supplies that they can get their hands on. So on this trailer, you've got this really beautiful top roll on this one. This is something we've done in a couple of our trailers now, and I just think that it looks really neutral and beautiful. You've got it carried on over here above the windows. All of your shades on this trailer are day-night shades, so you've got the ability to kind of have a little more privacy if you need to, or if you just want to be able to kind of block some of the sights and sounds out, but you want to let a lot of light in. Those day-night shades are pretty universal. This dinette here actually folds down into an additional bed. So I mentioned earlier, you've got 3 different sleeping areas on this trailer. This actually collapses down, and then you just move these cushions over. Underneath here, you have additional storage. So on these electric slides, we don't do the water in the slides. Your water tank is actually going to be underneath that sofa there. That allows you to have quite a bit of room underneath for additional storage. It's a great place to throw extra bedding, clothing, anything like that. On these trailers, you can also do slide out drawers if you wanted to. If you don't want to have to reach all the way back there, that's another option. So all of this cabinetry that Outlaw does, it's designed in-house. They build it, they dry fit it, make sure everything is nice and plumb, and then they actually go through and they stain it and install. So these are not just slapped in here and trim pieces used to cover any imperfections. Everything's laser leveled. Everything is built like a custom home. As far as the insulation goes on these trailers, I haven't found anything that's better than an Outlaw insulation on a trailer. They use basically a vapor barrier so that it helps heat or cool the air that's moving into the trailer before it gets inside. I know that a lot of people have talked to me about how on 90-degree days when it's sweltering outside, they'll walk in, they'll kick on their ACs, and this trailer cools down incredibly quickly and it holds constant. So if I were to heat this trailer up, you wouldn't just be bleeding all of that air that you've heated straight to the outside. It actually holds temperature very well. Your Cimarron roof is also insulated, so not only do you get the benefits of the Outlaw insulation, but Cimarron itself, if you go with a Cimarron trailer, you've also got that insulated Cimarron roof. So you've got kind of a double whammy there. Right under here, you've got your hot water heater. So we go with these smaller hot water heaters. We think that they regenerate a lot faster. So if you've got people that are wanting to take back-to-back showers, most of the time you're not going to want to be using unlimited water anyways. So this allows you to have that water heat up a lot quicker. You've got drawers down here. Everything is on a slider that locks into place. So as you're driving, you're not going to have to worry about every drawer being open when you get to your destination. You've got your 7.0 fridge and freezer here. So lots of storage space there. You can go for a pretty long weekend without having to worry about running back to the store. Just kind of gives you some more flexibility. This is the solenoid I was talking about for your gas into your trailer. So anytime you want to use your gas for either your cooktops, your furnace, your hot water heater, anything like that, you are going to want to make sure that you open up the valves for this. And this, like I said, this is just a safety precaution. It checks through, makes sure there's no leaks or anything like that. And this is something that we think is really important that Outlaw has installed on all of their trailers. You've got your monitor system here, so you can check your battery level, your fresh, your gray, your black. This is where you can turn on your hot water heater as well as your pump. Right over here above the cooktop, you do have just a little microwave here. If you want a convection oven, we either lose a little bit of space on this cabinet here, or we have to add actual length to this trailer. That was something we talked about with the original owners, or with the people that are buying this, is which kind of would they rather have. They opted for this bigger storage area here. They found that they would probably get more use out of that. But it is something that we've got coming. So we've got a little bit bigger, still close to this short wall, but it's going to be a little bit bigger and have a few more adjustments. So if you guys are looking for something like that, we've got one coming. So for your bathroom here, we've got the nice big shower with the skylight above. Just lets in a lot more light, and those tall people makes them feel just a little less claustrophobic in there. There's a lot of closet space in this bathroom. So you've got your extra cushion for your dinette here if you need to make it a bed. And then you've got 2 clothes rods for hanging here. Additional cabinet space over here. These shelves are adjustable. Like I said, everything's hardwood cabinetry, so feels really great. Big medicine cabinets. We've started going to these 2 doors on these medicine cabinets. We can do a single door, but we just find that it makes it so much easier to use if you've got these 2 doors. Nobody really cares about this seam here. This is that other copper sink that they upgraded to on this one. I think that it just goes really well with all of the fabrics and colors that are in this trailer. So I think they made a really good choice there. Right under here you do have your water pump. So just really easy to access under there. Everything's a trapdoor, so you're not going to see all your plumbing and your electrical wires. They're not just going to be hanging out there. Easy to grab onto, easy to destroy. Everything's going to have a nice trapdoor. Outlaw has every spec sheet for every trailer they've ever built. So they've actually got a 24/7 customer support line. So if you need to call them in the middle of the night, if you're having any issues, there's somebody there that's able to answer the phone. If you have a technician working on these trailers, it also allows you to have that technician call Outlaw and they can help find any of the wires that you need to in your trailers. So that's a really, really great option too. So now we're going to work our way back into the horse area here. So as I said, this is a 4-horse. We did quite a few upgrades on this trailer just in the horse area over our standard. So the first thing you'll notice is we did pad the dividers. The padding on the dividers is nice, especially if you've got a light colored horse. This aluminum, if you're going for a long time, horses are going back and forth. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a little bit of black on my hands. This aluminum will rub, especially on those palominos and grays. So if you're going to a show, you don't feel like giving your horse a bath, we've got padding on the dividers that will help with that. Plus, some people find that it makes them a little more comfortable. Everything's got a nice radius to it, so you're not going to have to worry about any sharp spots on these trailers for these dividers, but some people just like them to have just a little more cushion. As I mentioned, this is an 8-foot wide trailer, so you do have wheel wells within your trailer. This rubber matting that they use actually has mesh behind it, so it's not like the old rubber matting where the second a horse took their hoof to it, it's just going to peel off the wall. It's got a lot more structural integrity to it. Standard is we're going to have drop downs on the head side, but we actually upgraded this trailer to have drop downs every other on the hip side. This is really great if you're traveling to the hotter areas, Arizona, Florida, some parts of California. It's going to allow you to get a lot more airflow in on these trailers. And some people really like just dropping the hip sides and using the bus windows on the head side. That way, if you do have feed in these mangers here, it's not just going to be swirling around at their heads. Something that I really like that we do here at Transwest is we have the option to do airflow here as well as by their heads. We actually like doing the solids by their heads. That way, if a horse is eating feed right here in this stall, they pick their head up, got a mouthful of grass hay, all that wind doesn't just suck it into the neighbor's face. So it's just kind of an option you can do. You can do solids here. You can do solids with extended bars if you want a full divider. We usually do a stud divider on this first stall here. That's so that if you're needing a little bit of extra storage, maybe you're only hauling 3, you have the ability to go through that escape door and use this as kind of an additional storage area. Or if you want to run in that side, run into the bathroom on the road, you don't have to worry about getting in and out of your horse's way. So another great little option there. We just did rubber mats in this trailer. If you don't want to pull rubber mats, we can always do worm flooring. It's always an option for these trailers. The worm flooring is just a permanent floor that you put in. It allows no urine to get down onto your aluminum and create any corrosion or pitting. So that's something that's really great if you find that you're not wanting to pull out your mats very often. We recommend at least twice a season if you are going to be using rubber mats. As I mentioned, you've got your insulated roof. You can kind of see it here. It's covered up in your living quarters area. But this is going to keep your horses a lot more climate controlled in their stall area. So it's not going to allow that heat that's blaring down on the top of your roof to transfer into your horse area and make them overheated. And also, if it's in the winter, it'll keep it a little bit warmer in here if you keep it a little more closed up with the horse's body heat. So it just doesn't allow that temperature to transfer as much. Something that we did on this trailer in particular is the customer that's using it is actually going to be hauling a golf cart in here sometimes. So our shop went in and installed some heavy duty metal rings here. They're nice and horse safe, so I can rub my hands over them. Nobody's going to cut themselves up on anything, but they're going to be able to strap their golf cart down here. We actually measured their golf cart, so we know that we can actually close this stud divider here and they're going to be able to keep their golf cart back here, but still have this first stall for storage if they need to. We also added tie back clips to all of the dividers so that they can stay nice and out of the way if he's loading a golf cart in here. Another upgrade that this customer just decided to add on is they decided to do a rear ramp. It's going to make it really easy for them to load their horses in and out, but also it's going to make it easy for them to get that golf cart in here. So these these ramps are really easy to add on to any of our Cimarron trailers. We usually try and keep an 8-foot wide in stock so that if somebody wants to add one onto our living quarters that we already have on inventory, it's very easy for our shop to do that. These rubber coatings on these mats are very grippy. As you can see, I'm not having any issues staying on this. It's got a lot of good texture, so your horses walking up and down these ramps are going to be really, really safe. This rear tack right here is a collapsible rear tack. So if they wanted to, they can take this saddle tier out and they can actually fold this over and clip it back there. That'll be really nice for when they're loading additional things in here that aren't horses, because it'll allow them to get this out of the way, just give them a little bit more room to load everything in and out. On this wall here, we do have bridle hooks. You've got the rubber matting behind, which is going to keep it looking really nice if your bits are swinging back and forth. Brush box here. All of these can come off really easily if they ever needed to take them off. A lot of people really like these new hinges that we've got on these doors here. So something really nice about these Cimarrons is we've got these easy angle ladders. So for those of you that have had trailers before where you've had to climb up the side of it and it's really hard and slippery, and this makes it so much easier to get down. It gives you a little bit of an angle, makes you feel like you're climbing stairs a little bit more. I'm going to show you guys what we've got up here. We've actually done a hay pod on this trailer with the generator. So you've got a nice platform to stand on. Are you going up? All right. So on this trailer here, this hay pod is nice and sealed, so you don't have to worry about tarping your hay. You can fit 8 to 10 bales up here depending on the bale size. These are also on big gas shocks, so you don't have to worry about lifting the whole weight of this hay pod door up. Everything's diamond plated. It's going to be really easy to clean. Like I said, you've got this nice area here to work with as well. This is your own gas generator right here. On this trailer, we have a 10-gallon fuel tank. Fuel cell down below is a push-pull system, so you're able to get the fuel up high enough. I like doing these generators up here because it allows all the fumes and noise to kind of stay out of the way, out of the area, and it gives them lots of airflow so that they can operate how they want. Sometimes people will go in and they'll actually add, like on some of our trailers, we'll add a gate here so that if you want to put like a hay cart or anything up here, you can make sure that you can get it strapped down and you don't have to worry about it falling off the back end. There's a nice handle here, makes it really easy to get up and down on this trailer. All right, so as we work our way around the other side here, I've got 2 of these drop windows up because I think we did some cool stuff on these mangers here on this trailer. So we've carpeted behind here, and we've actually put bridle hooks in this manger as well as the first manger. These are 18 inches deep, so you've still got plenty of room for those horses to have lots of space up front, but you get a lot of additional storage in here. And each door has its own little light that's on its own little switch. So really easy to turn on and off. On this door here, I was really excited about this one. There's actually a brush box. So we've been trying to do a couple more things to our Mangers just to kind of set them apart a little bit. We know that a lot of people are using this for a lot of their tack and storage. So just some things that we can do. This brush box is really easy. If you need to take it off, you can, but I think that it's going to be a great addition to this trailer to just make it a little more usable under here. Your tires on this trailer, you're running on 17.5 Westlakes. These aluminum wheels are standard on all of your trailers, so you don't have to worry about getting steel wheels that get rusted out on these Cimarrons. These Westlakes are load range H, so you do have an upgraded weight capacity. This trailer in particular is running on 8,000 pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. We do a lot of these 14.3 trailers with air ride, so if that's something that's really important to you, ask us about what we've got on our schedules, because we've probably already got one of these reordered and we have the ability to do air ride on it still if you need. 16-inch awning light, we've got these on each side. All of our lights on this trailer for the Cimarron side are going to be LED lights. So LED has a lot lower power draw, they're put off a lot more light, and they last a lot longer. So it's kind of a win-win, a no-brainer to put them all in all of these trailers. Something else we do here at Cimarron is we actually do a center indicator light on these trailers on anything that's over 26 feet. So a lot of our using trailers, if people are custom building something, even if it's under 26, a lot of people have been adding these on, and that's because if you're next to somebody, it gives somebody beside you kind of an indication that you're either braking, trying to get over. It just makes it so these trailers are getting so long, gives people a little bit more warning besides you. You can never have enough lights on these trailers, so I think it's just a really great, easy add-on for this one. You've got your 30 amp power here, so if you're somewhere where you can just plug in, you don't have to use your fuel from your generator. You've also got your city water connection, so that's if you're at a campground or at somebody's barn and you don't want to have to worry about filling your 60-gallon fresh tank. You can just hook up to your city water and have kind of a constant flow. Your gray and black water your gray and black water tanks are right underneath. Cimarron does a great job of giving Outlaw enough space to tuck these tanks up. Nothing bothers me more than watching these tanks on these trailers hang so low, and you just know the first time somebody goes over a railroad crossing or over a steep bump, they're going to take their tanks right out. And these tanks are not something you want to break. There's sewage, there's gray water. So Outlaw and Cimarron, I think they work really well together to make these so that you're not going to have a lot of issues with ripping these off here. Got your escape door here, as I mentioned earlier, just makes it great. It's almost like a mudroom for a lot of people. If they don't have horses in this, they can go in and out here without ever tromping through their living quarters with dirty shoes. Since this is an electric slide out, you do have the ability to hand crank this in if you ever ran out of power or anything like that. So there is kind of a nice little override on these electric slides if you get in a bind. All these electric slide outs are going to have an awning cover over them, so if you've got some nasty weather, some snow, some rain, you're not going to have to worry about that moisture sitting on top of your slide out. Here is your fresh fill. As I mentioned, it is underneath the sofa on this trailer, so 60-gallon fresh water tank capacity allows you to have plenty of water with you if you need to boondock. Some people will even go and add an additional tank either in the hay pod or in that folding rear tack so that they can have additional water for their horses on the road. So I know you guys love this trailer just like we do, and you want to build one just like it. Like I said, we order these 14.3s in the 3s and the 4s with the full width rear tack or the folding rear tack, air ride, non-air ride. I think you're going to see a lot more of this type of layout going forward. So for those of you that want to custom order one, you can always call me. My name is Saye. My phone number is 970-309-6368. This one is spoken for, but if you love it and you want it duplicated just like this, you can always go give us a call and give us this reference number of 5N210 310. It's 2022 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse living quarters. We've done a couple other videos on this same setup. So if you want to see some other color options for this size, that's something that's really easy for us to pull up and send to you. Really appreciate you guys taking this tour with me today. If you have any questions, give me a call. Have a great Thanksgiving.